This little guy's warming up in the sun after a really cold night. I had covered up last year's garden beds to try to help a few plants make it through the night, and now I need to uncover those. If I really want to help things make it through the night, I'll add a light bulb under these tarps to try to keep some warmth in, but this time I was really just trying to provide some protection and wasn't too concerned if nothing made it. Everything was at least a year old. It's a little hard to tell here on video, but my thyme was just fine, no problem. My basil pretty much looks like somebody steamed it. Those plants are gonna go. Also, these banana peppers are pretty wilted. But I didn't expect these to make it anyway. My strawberries did really well. These were covered. The blooms even made it. For comparison, this small pot was uncovered. They looked great before the cold, but got a little yellow after. The rosemary, of course, nothing seems to phase it here. And the kale is cold weather hardy. It's just fine too. Even my few green onions that are holdovers from last year are doing fine. Okay, so this morning I did some work uncovering the plants I was trying to protect from our low temperatures. It's about the lowest temperatures we hadn't had in a year. For me, that was 25 degrees Fahrenheit. It's not necessarily low for other people, but for here it's pretty cold. And you know, we saw kind of the results of that. I wasn't too concerned because those are plants that were kind of wintering over, and they were either things that are kind of cold hardy or things that I didn't really expect to make it till this spring season anyway. The rest of this afternoon, something I'm going to do is right beside this bed that I kind of repurposed and rebuilt. I'm going to put this new bed that I was able to purchase. I usually build my garden beds out of 1-inch cedar boards, but with the pandemic those have been hard to come by, and when you can get them, they're pretty daggone expensive. And I got a deal with this kit. It was free delivery and was on sale, and we'll just see how it lasts in the kind of harsh conditions we have here for wood outside. This is a pretty basic kit. Once you open it up, it's pretty much just some boards and one page of instructions. They doesn't really look like I need those. And like I said, it's just some simple boards and some corner pieces and little end caps. It's a lot lighter material than I was kind of expecting from the advertisement. And it's not really the greatest, I think, for probably my conditions. But I took a chance on it, and we'll just see how it lasts. As far as spacing, I went ahead and I got out my push mower that I use, and I just want to make sure that I can fit it comfortably between the two garden beds. So I'm just going to take these boards and get it positioned where I can comfortably fit the mower in there. The corner pieces slide right together. As far as that type of construction, it was easy, no tools required, and everything's got kind of grooves and slots in them. You just slide them together. I'm guessing with a little bit of rain and weather, all this wood's going to swell and kind of stick together, and the whole thing's going to be stuck. No screws, no glue, nothing like that required. Once I fill it up with dirt, the pressure from the dirt pushing on everything is going to hold it nice and tight anyway. The whole thing went together pretty quickly in just a few minutes. Here I'm going to mark the corners with just broken off sticks so I can move the box, then go through and remove the sod from underneath. I'm going to use the sod from here to cover up the places where my old beds were previously. I have kind of this thick centipede type grass in the yard, so the technique I use is to use this small hoe to kind of get down under it and rip it loose, and I'll do that around the perimeter. Then I'll use a shovel to go through and like remove it from the ground. Now with all the sod removed, I'm going to clean that up a little bit, and the next step is to flip my box back over and get it positioned. I'm going to pull out my level and try to go around the box, and I'll have to do a little bit of adjusting, moving things up and down to get it somewhat level. I didn't tape it all, but I went around every side of the box and got everything adjusted the way I wanted it.
So I removed the sod underneath this new bed. It's about 8 feet long, and I'm going to use that sod to kind of cover up my old beds. The next step is to move my nice rich soil from my old beds from way over there to over here. That's going to take a little bit of effort. I don't have a wheelbarrow, so I'm going to be probably dragging it on tarps, but it'll be a good workout.
So I'm just going to shovel this dirt from my old beds over on the tarp. I'm going to drag it across the yard where I have my new beds. It wasn't that hard. It would have been easier with a wheelbarrow, but I got my 16-year-old daughter to help me a little bit, which the extra muscle was appreciated. You can see where I'm going just over my right shoulder here in a second. It's not too far.
Okay, so I started doing the work of moving the dirt from over there to over here. This is soil that I've been working on for several years. It's pretty good, but I decided to move my beds over in this part of the yard. I didn't get to finish that today, and I'm probably not going to have enough soil to fill up all of this, but I'll keep working on it throughout the week, probably after work. And the target is February 1st, being able to plant some onions, and February 14th, plant radishes and carrots. And then spring planting season is going to really pick up in late February and March. I'm encouraged with what's going on so far. So just keep watching and you'll see how this little backyard garden comes together and grows this spring.